Okay, class. So moving on to part 2 of our lecture. We are starting with, so I'll just draw this. We are starting with synovial joints. So synovial joint. Sorry, my handwriting is not that great here. Now, we will look at the anatomy of a particular synovial joint first before we talk about the different types of synovial joints. So what do we know so far? We know that a synovial joint is a fluid-filled joint. So in between the two articulating bones, there is a fluid-filled cavity. So let's draw this out. We have one bone, and then this is another bone. And each bone has a piece of articular cartilage. So this is articular cartilage. Cartilage. Okay. Now, if I hold on, I have to change color. Current slide. Record. Okay. Okay. So this structure is called joint capsule. So there is a joint capsule. So this is the joint capsule. And right here, this is the joint capsule. Now deep to the joint capsule, there is a membrane called synovial membrane. Let me draw that out. In blue, I'm drawing this. So this is synovial membrane. Right here. There is no gap between the joint capsule and synovial membrane. They're pretty much sticking to each other. So this is synovial membrane. And remember, the synovial membrane produces synovial fluid. So the function of synovial membrane is to produce synovial fluid that lubricates the joint cavity. So we have synovial fluid in between the bones in the joint, filling up the joint capsule. Apart from these, we have nerves, we have blood vessels, and we have ligaments strengthening the synovial joint. So to review, a synovial joint is a fluid-filled joint. We have a synovial capsule or a joint capsule. Deep to that, we have synovial membrane that produces synovial fluid, which fills up the space. And then the articulating ends of both ends are covered by articular cartilage, which is shown in black here. This one and this one. And then we have nerves, blood vessels, and ligaments strengthening the joint. Now we are moving on to the different types of synovial joints. So let's talk about the different types of synovial joints. The first one is called a plane joint. A plane joint is a very simple type of joint where we have movement in one direction only. So we have movement in one axis only. So it's front and back or side to side type of movement. And we find plane joints in between the bones of the carpals and tarsals. That's where we find plane joint, in between the bones of the carpals and tarsals. The next type of synovial joint is hinge. It looks like a hinge, and in hinge also we have movement in one axis, so the same thing. Classic example of hinge joint is elbow and knee. These are examples of hinge joint. The third type of synovial joint is pivot. And in case of pivot also, we have movement in one axis. And classic example is between your first cervical vertebra and the second cervical vertebra. So there is movement between first and second cervical vertebrae. And I will show you a picture on the PowerPoint, and it'll make more sense about how the pivot joint actually moves. So in between the first and second cervical vertebrae, we have pivot joint. Another place where we find pivot joint is your proximal end of radius and ulna. I have a picture of that one too. So these are the two areas, proximal end of radius and ulna, and between the first and second cervical vertebrae we have pivot joint. And remember, in pivot joint we have movement in one axis only. The fourth type is called condylar. And in case of condylar joint, we have movement in two axes. So we can have movement front and back and side to side. Condylar. Classic example, your knuckles. Knuckles are example of condylar joint. The fifth one is saddle. For saddle also we have movement in two axes. Classic example is your first carpo-metacarpal joint. First carpo-metacarpal joint. It's between your first carpal. It's between your carpal and first metacarpal. If you remember from lab, which is your first metacarpal? So the joint between your carpal and first metacarpal is example of saddle joint. And also I have a picture to show you, so it'll make more sense. And the sixth type is ball and socket. Ball and socket. There is movement in multiple axes here. Multiple axes. Classic example of ball and socket, your shoulder joint and your hip joint. Good. All right, so these are the different types of synovial joints. Do you need to remember the names and the type of movement and the examples? Of course, yes, because I talked about all these. Okay. So we are done with explaining the joints based on anatomy. Now we will move on to talking about joints based on function. So functional classification of joints. Three types. We have something called synarthrosis. Then we have amphiarthrosis. Then we have diarthrosis. Synarthrosis is a joint where there is no movement. No movement at all. Amphiarthrosis is a joint where we have slight movement. And diarthrosis is a freely movable joint. Freely movable joint is diarthrosis. So no movement, synarthrosis, slight movement, amphiarthrosis, and diarthrosis refers to freely movable joint. Based on this functional classification, we will go back. Let me change color. How do I do this? Oopsie. Anyway, I'll go back and we will look functionally what each joint type is. So a suture, when we look at a suture, what do you think? Is it synarthrosis, amphiarthrosis, or diarthrosis? It's synarthrosis. So suture is synarthrosis because there is no movement. Gomphosis between tooth and socket, is there any movement? No. So gomphosis is synarthrosis as well. Syndesmosis. Know that as we pronate and supinate our arms, there is slight movement in between the long bones, and therefore syndesmosis is amphiarthrosis. Cartilaginous joint. The first one is synchondrosis. This is not movable. So synchondrosis is, synarthrosis. This is S, synarthrosis. And then symphysis. What do you think about symphysis? Symphysis is slightly movable. Remember, pubic symphysis slightly moves in females during childbirth. So symphysis would be amphiarthrosis. And for synovial joints, know that all 6 types that we talked about, every synovial joint is diarthrosis. Okay. So synovial joint, they are all diarthrosis again. Synchondrosis is, why cannot I write here? Synchondrosis, as I mentioned before, is synarthrosis, meaning it doesn't move, and symphysis is amphiarthrosis. So this is amphi, this one is synarthrosis. Good? All right. Okay, so let's look at a PowerPoint. Anatomically, we can classify joints based on what exists between the bones, like dense regular cartilage, dense regular connective tissue, a piece of cartilage, or fluid-filled cavity. By function, we can classify joint into 3 types, as we mentioned: synarthrosis, amphiarthrosis, diarthrosis. Okay, looking at structural classification, as we discussed before, it can be fibrous, where the bones are held together by collagen fibers, mostly dense regular connective tissue. Cartilaginous joint, we have a piece of cartilage between bones, and synovial joint is one where bones are separated by fluid-filled cavity. Functionally, synarthrosis, totally immobile joints; amphiarthrosis, slightly mobile joints; and diarthrosis is freely mobile joints. Hope you understand this. If you have any question, feel free to email me, or just ask a question on class discussion board. Okay, now looking at different types of fibrous joint. Know that dense irregular connective tissue is the cementing material. Gomphosis, remember articulation between tooth and mandible and maxilla, right here. This is gomphosis. Then suture between skull bones, and syndesmosis between the long bones. Do you see this membrane? This is made up of dense regular connective tissue, and this forms syndesmosis between radius and ulna in this case. Okay, moving on to cartilaginous joints. Bones are attached by cartilage. Actually, I'll make another video starting with the cartilaginous joints. I'll stop here.